Hey guys, it's Stephanie Legacy coming to reminding you to love your life and live your legacy. Thanks for stopping by to my channel. I try to talk about all things related to health and wealth and anything in between as we all go through this journey of life. So, one of the things I want to talk about, just want to get on here briefly today and do a little mini rant. Talking about, I guess you could say debt-free living, but also just wealth growth, planning for your future. The number one thing I think you need to be successful, to either live a debt-free life, to be able to retire successfully and comfortably where you think you need to be, to work towards this long marathon of savings and planning for the future. And the number one thing that I think you need is the belief that you can do it. I was in a Facebook group today, and it was a group for people who don't even have kids, right? So they don't have the added expense of, because I don't have kids, so they didn't have the added expense of daycare and saving for college and whatever. This person literally wrote on Facebook that they were 24 years old, and that they didn't think they'd ever be able to retire. And I wrote back simply, time is on your side, you can do it. And then they sat there and argued with me about how they don't make enough money to save for retirement. And I mean, excuse after excuse after excuse. Nobody's hiring. I can't get a good job that pays. My housing takes over all of my expenses. I'm going to give you some tough love. And this is probably why I like Dave Ramsey to a certain extent, because he is a no bullcrap kind of person. It's not always going to be easy, but if it's something that you're passionate about, which hopefully everybody's passionate about, setting themselves up for a good future, it's going to take work and it's going to take effort. Just like my first video said, and I can't emphasize how important that is, that you are not trying, you are training, you are working towards a long-term goal, and it is a marathon, not a sprint. But if you believe when you're 24 years old that you're not going to be able to retire and that you can't ever get a better job and all your income's going to be taken up by your house forever, I'm sorry, you're right. You're never going to be able to retire because you've already decided in your mind that it's not going to happen. And that it's unacceptable. If you plan, especially if you are 24 years old, if you are under 30, you can find a path to retire. If you're late to the game, if you messed up, if you whatever your backstory is, I would argue in most cases, if you're looking up how to invest or looking up things on YouTube about investing because you care, I would argue that there is a path forward for you when it comes to retirement. Now, your retirement may not look like my retirement because I am thankfully at this point living a debt-free life, and I plan to continue that, right? And I'm young in the span of retirement age. So am I going to have longer to continue to save and invest? Yes. Does that mean I'm going to live a crazy retirement life? No. Probably live the same. I'm going to not have my disposable income coming in. But that's neither here nor there. You should be able to retire. People think, people underestimate the value of time when it comes to investing. They underestimate the value of compound interest. They underestimate that they might have to make some hard choices, and they underestimate their ability to actually make those choices and continue forward. I went on to tell this person about how I paid off $72,000 in loans in a short amount of time. I did it in less than 2 years. I talked about how my husband, who had to pay for all of his school on his own and did not take out one student loan, when he got his first job, he lived at his parents' cabin, which was a 3-season cabin. Probably doesn't want me to talk about this. He did things that I would never do to save money. His first apartment, he didn't buy furniture. He slept on the floor because he didn't want to buy a bed. That's extreme. I would not want to do that. I wouldn't do that. But he did that, and we are benefiting from the fruits of his labor. So I'm not saying you have to be that extreme. I'm just saying there are ways to cut back, and there are things that people do on a daily basis that they don't even think about as an expense. Cable. Do you need cable? No, we don't have cable. We don't have cable. We have Netflix for $9. Do you need? I get news online for free, and I read it. And you know what? I'm probably happier for it. Do you need to buy a coffee? No. Do you need to get a manicure? No. You can do it yourself. You can get Color Street nails for $10. Do you need a pedicure? No. Do you need to dye your hair? I actually took a year off dyeing my hair with COVID, so I normally hide all my grays. I'm just experimenting with it to see. No, you don't need to dye your hair, especially if you're 24. You probably have no grays, although I did have grays at that age. But you can box dye it if you really need to. It's not as fun as the salon, and I know hairstylists would probably disagree with me, but if you are focused on your goal and you are training, which means everything you have goes into that effort, you make the sacrifices that you need to. And for somebody at 24 years old to say that they will never be able to retire, they're 100% right, because they don't believe it. They don't believe themselves. No matter how much I was trying to help her and give suggestions, she told me I was out of touch. I didn't even share anything about our financial situation other than that we're hoping to retire early. And I don't know. That's the biggest thing. If you're starting on your journey, if you need any suggestions or tips in terms of how to endure this long process, because it is long and the progress is going to seem slow, but day by day it adds up. And I'm just praying that you can have a good mindset about it. You can have the faith. You can stay focused. You're going to slip and fall along the way. That's okay. Get back up. Keep going. Nothing was created in a day. You can do it. You can absolutely do it. I hope this is encouraging to you in some way. We're heading into a beautiful weekend. It's going to be 70 degrees here, which for Minnesota, that's just awesome. And let me know if this was encouraging or uplifting to you, or what other mindset things, tips and tricks you might need, what you're struggling with. Thanks for stopping by, guys. And remember, when you love your life, when you find ways to enjoy the day-to-day, you can live your legacy. You don't have to wait to create a legacy in retirement, right? Like to pass down. You can live your legacy now. You can impact people today. All right. I hope this helps somebody out there. Have a great day.